Hey everybody, welcome to session number 5 of this 10-day program on 12 months of summer. So the idea is that we want you busy even when it's not particularly hot or cold. We want to manage our business in such a way that we're in control, right? We're not just reacting to the weather. So in line with that, we brought in Dennis Hohman of Profit Acceleration Academy, and I'm going to let him introduce himself a little bit. I do know, a little birdie told me, he goes way back. In fact, he had a hand in, forgive me for saying this, Weldon, the big sales trainer. Gosh, what's Weldon's first name?
Weldon Long.
Weldon Long.
Weldon Long, thank you. Big time trainer, right? Been around a long time, and I think Dennis had a hand in helping him along. So with that, please, Dennis, if you'll take over, welcome. We appreciate you coming in and sitting in on this, so we talk about the social media thing. Okay?
Absolutely, thanks, Pete. I appreciate it, and I appreciate all the effort you put into this. Like you can hear me, okay, right?
Yes, sir. Very good.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. There's a lot of effort that goes into this, putting this on, and I appreciate it. I'm sure all the guys definitely appreciate it. So, guys, I'll tell you, I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen. A lot of what I got is visual tonight. A lot of the About Me parts is visual, so I'm just going to go ahead and share my screen here.
Now you know what I'm going through. Hey, guys, it takes a minute. The Zoom platform isn't a switch back and forth. You got to go through a bunch of buttons. So just bear with us here.
Oops. Hold on here.
That's okay. Take your time. While you're doing that, I'm going to – okay, you're good.
Can you see my screen all right?
Yeah, you probably you're not in presentation mode quite yet. There you are. Okay, you're good. I'll shut up.
Awesome, guys. Well, we're here to talk about some social media marketing today, and basically, these are simple, really no-cost strategies to increase your leads, your sales, and profits. Now, there's a lot of different social media out there. We all know that. I'm going to touch on tonight basically the 2 big ones that can help you, and that's LinkedIn and Facebook. I'm not going to get caught up in the Instagram or the Snapchat or anything like that. What I've found with my clients is that these are basically the 2 big platforms that could help you. What you're going to learn tonight is I'm going to show you why you need to change how you think about marketing. We need a different mindset. I'm going to show you why social media is important to your business growth. I'm going to give you an overview of how you can optimize your online profile to attract those ideal clients that you're looking for. I'm going to show you how, what, and most importantly, what not to post online. And then once you start to learn this stuff, I'm going to give you a little glimpse into the future of how you can really move your results forward a lot quicker once you get social media down. So as I mentioned, I'm Dennis Hohman. I've been in the HVAC industry since 1996. I've been on the contractor side and the distribution side. I kind of do a lot of things with my clients. I do market and lead generation. I help them with their conversion and transaction strategies. I help them with their operations. I help them with that employee problem. Almost most contractors have that big employee issues. I help them with recruitment and retention. Pete's mentioned a couple times that I'm also the numbers guy. I think when we start concentrating on leads and sales, we kind of forget about this sometimes. And at the end of every year, our bank accounts always look the same. It's really important to have a cash flow and a financial strategy. I work with that. And with all of my years on the distribution side, I'm also pretty darn good at the vendor supplier stuff. If you're a little guy or a mid-sized guy and you think you can't get the pricing that the big guys get, you're wrong. You can. But the big drawback to me is you guys are the smart guys. I'm the technical dipstick. I've been in this industry for over 20 years, and you know what? You bring an air conditioner to my house and you sit it there and you say, Dennis, install it, right over my head. That's not my wheelhouse. I help build businesses, but I'm not the technical guy. I leave that to you guys. Now, one thing I'm really going to hit tonight when we're talking about social media is the power of the testimonial. Now, we all think about reviews and Yelp and Google reviews. Testimonials are huge. And I kind of really realized that the other night. I had a lot of this presentation done. And I'm sitting there listening to Sam's training, and he was talking to a gentleman that was in Colorado Springs, and he says, "Hey, you're in Wally country." And I'm sitting here thinking, this is during the training. I'm sitting there thinking, I go, wait a second. You know what? I've known this guy for 15 years. I knew all along, going way back to when he started his first HVAC company. I mean, he was a couple weeks into it. And I says, why don't you reach out to this guy and get a testimonial? This is Sunday night. I don't know if you guys saw me playing with my phone. So I just texted him, Wally, could you send me a testimonial? I'm doing this training. And boom, 5 minutes later, he basically sends me this. It was an awesome experience working with Wally, but it also showed me that I'm not perfect either. You know, I had a really good testimonial I could have been using the whole time with people, and I never even did it till it triggered in my mind. So I sat over there for 18 months of my business not doing this. The power of just testimonials and asking for them really is big. Now, I want to tell you why I do what I do. Like I said, a long time on the distribution side. You know, I love working with contractors, done it for 20 years, really enjoy working with you guys. But you know what? I got sick and tired of something. I mean, let's face it, contractors are screwed. I mean, everybody wants something from you, it seems like. Everybody. And I sat there for just years watching this go on with these customers. I mean, your employees always want something from you. You know, you ever get treated like you're just a wallet out there? Advertising people are constantly after, you know, where should you market here, market there? I'm convinced that 95% of SEO people are completely full of crap. You know, banks are the only ones that ever win. They're after you. Suppliers, please don't get me started on suppliers. You get me on that soapbox, I'm going to go on for about an hour and a half on suppliers. And let's face it, even your customers. I mean, we're in this, you guys are in this to help your customers and give them the best quality home air solutions you can. And sometimes doesn't it seem like you're kind of butting heads with them? I mean, have you ever got that call? Hey, you installed my air conditioner last week and now my dryer's not working. Can you come look at it? Okay, whatever. Well, I got to the point where, frankly, I'm over it. I got completely over this stuff. So I decided to start my company, and I did it for one reason. You know, I want to be the company that basically has the contractors back. I piss a lot of people off in this industry, from suppliers to marketing people, but I'm not in it for them. I'm in it for the contractors. That's why I do basically what I do. With that in mind, let's talk a little bit about some social media here. First things first, I'm going to be a little bit tough tonight. I get really passionate about this stuff. I love building my clients' businesses. I like helping you guys out. But sometimes I can come across as really passionate, really just out there. Don't do this. You can't do that. I'm definitely on this stuff. So I can come across a little bit tough. But if you want to grow your HVAC business using social media, I'll tell you this much. I'm not going to tell you it's going to be easy, but it will be worth it. You're going to need to be as professional as you've ever been in your career. I mean, to be really posting on social media and getting leads, you got to be as professional. I mean, it's ridiculous how professional you got to be. You need to be committed to it every single day. This is going to be as committed as waking up in the morning and, I don't know, drinking your protein shake or whatever you do, checking your email. You've got to be committed to this. And you need to be a content posting machine. You need to constantly be putting stuff out there. All of this is very important. And other than that, I really have no strong opinion on the matter. Like I said, we need a new mindset about marketing. Social media, organic lead generation, it does work. It just takes time and commitment. To get new results, we really do need a new mindset. We need to stop thinking of ourselves as being hunters all the time. And we need to become farmers. Now, what do I mean by that? What you're seeing on the screen right here is something I call the buyer's journey. Now, you see that little guy on the right side of the screen throwing his money up in the air? He's a guy that I refer to as the now buyer. He has made his decision that he's going to purchase from an HVAC person, whatever their product or service is. That's him. He's going to decide. He represents, however, less than 3% of the people that are actually in the market for your goods or services. But think about this. Everybody's marketing to that guy. He's got the money. He's willing to buy. That's all our marketing goes straight at him. 97% of our buyers fall into different categories: future buyers and soon-to-be buyers. They're wondering, what are the benefits of ownership? Who should they buy from? Why should or shouldn't they buy? They're in the informational gathering stage, and no one's marketing to them. All we're doing is going after this guy spending his money, and he's a small percentage of the people that are out there. There's two kinds of offers. There's an incentive offer: buy one, get one free, a percentage discount, buy my product, I'll give you a gift. There's a free service, I'll give you a free estimate. The problem with that incentive offer is it makes you sacrifice price and profitability. It's very easy to comparison shop online. It only appeals to the people that are ready to buy right now. If I'm going to buy a new car next year, I don't care about marketing saying I get a 10% discount right now. And here's the most important part: it trains our customers to only respond to that offer. Nobody buys a pizza nowadays unless they have a coupon. It's because the pizza companies have completely trained them to basically buy when it's $10 Tuesday or 2 for Wednesday or whatever it is. But there's another kind of an offer out there. It's an informational offer. If you're a professional, it could be a free report. If you're a service contractor, it could be an idea guide. It could be a self-assessment. If you're a consumer, it could be what vendor do I want to select? Do I want a Carrier? Do I want a Lennox? What kind of a product do I want? I can look at a consumer report. Here's the beauty of an informational offer. The advantages is it builds trust. It establishes a relationship between you and the buyer. Let me go back here, sorry. Gotta love tech. It establishes that relationship between you and the buyer. It offers the prospects evidence of the claims you're making. 97% of people buy this way, guys. Think of the last thing you bought. Did you just bring it up and buy it, or did you do a little research? No one's marketing for these people. And I'll tell you why. I want to tell you a little bit about the simple days of selling. Pre-1990, the seller had all the power. The buyer had almost no options. It was low information, low tech, very little information, and there was very little resistance out there because the buyer, there's very few competitors. They hardly had any choices. It was actually very easy for a buyer to make a decision back then. I remember in the 80s, when I bought my first car, there was one car dealership in my town. So guess what? That's what I choose. I didn't have a chance to go online and do a bunch of shopping. But after the 90s and up until right now, there's been a big paradigm shift. Right now, the buyer has all the power. And us as the people selling, we're basically at their mercy. And this causes a huge confidence gap. There was a big entrepreneurial boom. There was a lot of competition out there now. There's way more choices nowadays than there ever were before. A lot of increased technology, and that's a lot of information. And what that does is that gets out to our buyers to the point where they're seeing identical marketing messages everywhere because everyone's marketing to the now buyer. It makes products commodities, which are basically become just price sensitive, and it increases buyer resistance. And this creates longer buying cycles. That's the whole buyer's guide. What we have to do is we have to create marketing that goes to those 97% of buyers. It's got to be concise and well articulated, powerfully stated, low or no pressure. No one wants to be pressured nowadays on our marketing. And it needs to really be one-way communication where, frankly, the buyer isn't, we're not intrusive. The buyer can look at it at their own pace. They can look at it when they're confident, when they're convenient. They can ignore it if they don't want to. And frankly, they don't want to make a commitment. That's the way we do our marketing. Nobody wants to call up and talk to anybody anymore. We all want to review it at our own pace. What we need to do is get our buyers along this cycle from future to soon to be to now by giving them information and content that sets us up to succeed. Social media can easily accomplish this. Very easy. But there's a big rule, golden rule of social media marketing. When I got on here today, the first thing I said was, hey, I'm really excited to be here and this is going to be awesome. And social media, that's the exact opposite of what you want to do. You don't want to do it, because the big golden rule of social media marketing is this: it's about your prospect, not you. Now, this can be counterintuitive when we think of social media, because what we're thinking is, hey, it's all about people want to see what I'm doing and what's up with my life, what I'm eating for dinner, my new car, what the fish I just caught on my trip to Florida. But that's the wrong way to market on social media. People don't want to do that. It's all about us, right? We just want to focus on ourselves. You need to make it about the prospect, not you. So with that, let's go right into the first medium here, LinkedIn. It's the first one I'll show you tonight. Now, when you look on LinkedIn, I think a lot of contractors, HVAC contractors, think this: there's not homeowners on LinkedIn that are frankly looking to buy a furnace. You know what? You're actually right. There isn't a lot of homeowners that go on LinkedIn and try to find an HVAC contractor. But this is business networking on steroids, LinkedIn. With no one being on there, that gives you a big advantage, because I'll tell you, there are plenty of people on there that can refer business to you. There's real estate agents, home remodelers, renovation contractors, home builders, custom home builders. There is a ton of possible joint venture partners on LinkedIn that no other HVAC guy is trying to tap into. The reason I know that, my ideal market client is contractors. And there's not a lot of them on there. They don't interact. There's a lot of them that have profiles, but none of them check it maybe once or twice a year. They don't go on there. If you did this, that would definitely set you out as different from them when you go after these type of clients. So how does an HVAC contractor get these connections to actually refer business to them? Well, first thing you need to realize is this: LinkedIn is not Facebook. It's used for two different things, either a resume or to do marketing. Now, I assume since we've got a bunch of business owners on here, no one's really looking for a job. So it really does no good for you to post a resume on there, which means you need to use LinkedIn as a marketing site. Unless you're looking for a job, your profile needs to look almost like a landing page that promotes you and your business. It needs to be professional. This right here is the front of my LinkedIn profile. You can see my picture there, and you can see the background picture. Now notice the heading there. The heading should tell people what you do, not who you are. If this thing right here came in as search engines and it said Dennis Hohman, CEO, President, Owner, Profit Acceleration Academy, that means absolutely nothing to you guys. You don't know what I do, you don't know anything. So in my heading, I put what I do. I help contractors get consistent leads and build sustainable businesses without working ridiculously long hours. So instead of you saying Bill Johnson, owner, Bill's Heating and Cooling, why don't you pick a target market, let's say property managers, and have under your name say, I help property managers quickly and effectively handle their tenants' HVAC needs. Doesn't that sound a little bit different than president of your company? Now you're picking a target on LinkedIn, because remember, homeowners aren't on LinkedIn, but a lot of our other target markets are. So change your optimization to say what you do and not who you are. Your about section on your LinkedIn page. Again, the about section should not be about you. It should be about your prospects. It should say what you do, who you work with, what sets you apart, and then a call to action. So when you look at my what do I do, I'm explaining what I do, but I'm completely explaining it in the form of this is how what I do benefits a contractor. Who I work with, I'm going to clearly state who I work with. If you went after, say, property managers, you could put, I partner with property managers to make sure their HVAC needs of their tenants get solved very quickly and effectively without a lot of hassle or delay. That is about your prospect, not you. Put down why it works. Why does partnering with you work for property managers? Put down what makes you different. And when you're putting down what makes you different, don't put down, well, I'm this and I'm great this, I'm great that. Explain it again. Well, I use my 20 years experience once more to help my prospects by doing it this way. Always angle everything towards helping your prospects. Add a little testimonial in there. What are others saying? You're not necessarily, you can get recommendations on LinkedIn from people, but it's not, don't guarantee them. So what are others saying about you? Throw a testimonial up there, another property manager or whoever you want to work with that said, wow, working with Bill's Heating and Cooling has been an awesome experience. Then also put a call to action in there. How it works. This is what happens the first time we talk. This is the process. Are you ready to talk? Here's my email address and here's my phone number. Or click my appointment link below to schedule one. Make your about section, again, about your prospect. In your experience section, and this is very important, guys. In your experience section, you're going to have, you have more than one opportunity to put a job position in there. So I've got my company there, Profit Acceleration Academy, but you notice I just don't put, owner of Profit Acceleration Academy, I do lead generation, business growth, and employee recruitment, blah, blah, blah. I don't have all that in there. I have each one separated into a completely different position that I do for my company. And the reason I do that is LinkedIn's algorithms work on keywords. So when someone's searching for you and you just say, I handle all my company's HVAC needs, but they're searching for furnaces, you won't come up unless you have something like, heating supply specialist, air conditioning specialist, indoor air quality expert. All of that stuff needs to go in there under separate job positions within your profile. Then it's going to pull more on LinkedIn. If I'm somebody looking for indoor air quality, but all you're talking about is HVAC, you're not going to come up. But it will if you've separated all your jobs. So separate your experience sections out. Your skills section. LinkedIn allows 50 separate skills to be put into your skills section. And I'm going to tell you right now, there's a ton of them when it comes to heating and cooling. From commercial to residential, it allows 50, put 50 of them in there. Put a ton of them, because again, that's the thing that it's pulling its lead generation from. And if you just put that you're good at furnaces and air conditioners, but one of your persons goes in there because you fixed a rooftop unit, but you don't have down that you do commercial replacement, they can't recommend you because it's not on there. So just put as many skills. If you've put in, one piece of ductwork in your whole life, put down that you do ductwork. Put everything in there. Fill that sucker up. And then lastly, join groups. Just like Facebook, LinkedIn has groups. And those groups you can join in, and you can do it for one, to connect with the people in the group, to post content in there, and I'll show you how you do that, but also to look at what they're posting and see what their problems are you can solve. So join groups, and you can also narrowly focus this down. Now I don't know how big of the towns you guys are in, but like in Denver, there's plenty of Denver real estate groups or Denver property manager groups. If I wanted to do that. Now there's some global ones or just nationwide, but if I want to join Denver property managers, there's going to be a group of 150 or 200 people in there, and I can join that. So definitely join groups. Create a company page. That's very easy to do right off your first link there. You can go up to the work section, click on it, go down, and it will say create company page. Create that, not only to put testimonials from your customers, but employees. There are a lot of HVAC technicians on LinkedIn, and there's going to be a point in year where they're going to be looking for another job at some point. Well, if your company page actually has testimonials from a couple of your employees that says, wow, Bill's Heating and Cooling is a great place to work, great ownership, great systems, I so love working here. Well, if you're a technician out there that's looking for a job, wouldn't that kind of stand out to you? So just don't think of LinkedIn as leads. Think of it a way to get good quality employees out there with testimonials. I think there's a couple one-man or two-man outfits on here, but if you have 3, 4, 5 employees, have them join LinkedIn, put themselves down as an employee of your company, and then give you a testimonial. I have clients that have gotten really good quality employees off of a pumped up employee section on their LinkedIn page. Now, let's talk a little bit about content. So LinkedIn is not something like Facebook where you're posting, something every single day and you're posting, but you're doing this hour, and I just checked in at Chili's, whatever. It's used as informational. So find out who your ideal client you want to work with, and post articles in your feed that they're interested in seeing. I posted this one a while back, the most common complaints between homeowners and contractors. I posted that in there, fine, but here's the cool thing. I didn't write that article. You see there on the bottom of the screen, www.feedly.com. This is a massive resource for you guys, both on LinkedIn and Facebook. Go on there. Basically, this website it houses articles written everywhere about every subject you can possibly imagine. Indoor air quality, heating, furnaces, politics, everything is on there. So let's say you're going after property managers. Go to feedly.com, just search property managers, property management, whatever. You're going to get a big list of articles on there that you can take and use for free. Take the link, post it in your feed, and just say, hey, I just saw this great article about property managers and the headaches they're dealing with their tenants. Post it in there. And if your ideal client is going to see that, because you can also hashtag it so they can do it. This is the easiest way on the planet to get content. You're trying to think of what to put out there. You can put the same thing on your Facebook page. It makes you look like the smart guy because you're putting content out there, and you're not writing any of this stuff. You're just putting a link in there. Very easy way to get content for LinkedIn. So you've got your profile built up. You've started posting some content in there that you got off Feedly, or you can write your own articles, guys, and put that on there. Now let's start searching for some people to actually connect with. So this is the connect in page, which you're looking here. Now, this is set up on mine. So you're going to have, wherever you are, you're going to have a location in the United States, and that's basically going to be based on where your company is on your profile. So for me, I picked Greater Denver area. I also put, for my connections, that's second degree. Now, if you don't know what that is, a first degree connection is someone you're connected with. A second degree connection is somebody that your first degree connections are connected with. So it's somebody you already know. If you've ever looked at LinkedIn and it says like 1 or 2 mutual connections, that means that person is connected to somebody you are. I pick second connections when I do a search because I'm already connected to the first one. If you're just getting started on LinkedIn and you don't have any connections, then frankly, just leave it open. But if you see the window in the upper top there, that top arrow, and you see how I have that typed in there. So say I'm looking for property managers. I want to put quote, property, unquote, AND, all in capital letters, and then quote the next one. The search engine for LinkedIn is going to pick that up and say, everyone with property and manager in their title or experience, I want to see a list of them. And it's going to spit out a big list. And unless you're in a really small town, there's going to be a lot. I mean, I did this exact search in Denver, and I must have come up with 2,800 property managers that are on LinkedIn. It's a ridiculous amount. So when you do the search, it's going to give you a list. Here's one of them that came up, Kathleen Grogan. So you can do one of two things. You can just hit that connect button and hope that she'll connect with you. And I'm not getting you wrong, a lot do. If you just want to go connect on all the connections, you're going to get some people connect with you. But if you want to personalize it, you can also send her a note. You could say something like, hi, Kathleen, I came across your profile and wanted to see if you're opening to connecting. Regards, Dennis. You can also take it a step further and say, I noticed you work for the Holland Partner Group. I've heard of them, understand it's a great place to work. You send a personalized note, you're going to get a little bit of a higher connection rate. So you send that note to them. Let's assume they connect with you. Then you can sit back and you can just have them watch your content, or you can take it one step further towards getting them on the phone with you. Remember that article you just posted, or you can find another article out there? Clip that link out and just send it to her. Hey, Kathleen, I hope business is going well for you. I came across this article that I thought you might be interested. It talks about, whatever the article talks about. You can check it out here, give them the link. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Take care, Dennis. So now I've connected with her with a nice note. I've got my profile optimized showing I help her. Now I've given her kind of a quality resource to help her. I'm starting to engage this person a little bit. And again, guys, no HVAC people do this. It just doesn't happen. And she'd look at this and go, wow, this is crazy. So you send this quality resource. If she responds fine, If she doesn't, you can still send this last note. Kathleen, I'm trying to get to know my connections on LinkedIn a little better so that we might both benefit from being connected. I'd love to schedule just a quick call. Would you have a few minutes to chat next week? Propose a time. How does that sound? Send that off to her. Now, is everybody going to say, oh yeah, I'd love to hand you, that sounds perfect for me, or let's reschedule? No, you're not going to get everybody doing it, but you will get a percentage of them. And when you make that connection, you've just done it. You've taken that prospect that could refer business from an online connection that you barely know to an offline phone call. And once you get them on the phone, do your thing. Tell them what you do. Tell them how you help property managers or whatever you've picked as your ideal client. Guys, you're going to stand out when it comes to HVAC. Does this take a little bit of time? Sure it does. But you're going to be completely stand out. And these are the type of partners, restoration companies, real estate agents, property managers, they're going to be the ones that give you business year round, because houses sell all the time. Restoration companies are always working. I help one of my clients who's mainly a new construction builder, and all of their LinkedIn profiles were basically garbage. Well, I showed the VP of new construction how to optimize his profile, and I showed him this exact sequence. In the span of about a month and a half, he got commitments from 2 custom builders to basically start doing business with him. And we know custom builders do big money. And then he actually finally got in with a big track builder that he's been trying to get with forever. So there is a good possibility of getting leads off LinkedIn that just aren't homeowners. Okay, any questions on LinkedIn before I move to the monster Facebook?
Great job,
Awesome.
Dennis. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna take you up on that evaluation myself. Great job. I love the LinkedIn. I never thought about that, but go ahead. I don't want to interrupt your flow.
It's almost like, I know the way I'm hitting you, it's almost like drinking from a fire hose, but thank goodness this is recorded. There's a lot of stuff here, but I wanted to get as much content as I could. So let's talk about the next monster, Facebook. You know, LinkedIn's a great connection, but your homeowners are on Facebook. I want to give you a little story. I'm going to say, to protect the names, I'm going to call this Cindy the cleaning lady story. When I moved to Broomfield 5 years ago, I was looking for cleaning ladies, someone to clean my house, so I got a couple of referrals. One of them was named Cindy, the other one was named Yesenia. Well, they are, small people, they don't have, so I figured they're not clean, they don't have cleaning companies, so let me look online. First thing I did was I looked at Cindy's profile. Well, 9 of the 10 pictures Cindy had posted on Facebook was her drinking or partying. Her photo picture was pretty bad, and her big banner behind her profile picture was her and a friend with the thumbs up standing right in front of a pot distillery. Okay, so I went to Yesenia's profile. What does she look like? Again, just a nice lady, and she's there. She's got a picture of herself in her profile picture that's very nice, her smiling, looking good. Her little banner behind her was just her little sedan with the magnetic thing on it that had her company. And she actually had 2 testimonials that were sitting on her Facebook timeline. Well, guess who I went with? I went with Yesenia. And I want to show you how what those pictures cost Cindy. What did she lose? I pay $80 to clean my house. Now, I'm not a cheap ass, okay? It takes about 90 minutes to clean my house. I'm a pretty clean guy. So she's in and out. In about an hour and a half, I pay $80, and I get it done every 2 weeks. That's $2,000 a year I pay to clean my house. In the last 5 years, Cindy's lost more than $10,000, not including tips, that she could have earned that she didn't because her profile picture looked horrible. And here's the funny thing about it. She never knew it. She didn't know it was her profile that cost her over $10,000, but tip probably 12 grand. I didn't call her and say, hey, you didn't get my business because of your profile. And you're never going to know this stuff because no one will tell you. So you have to be smart about your profile. You need to face reality when it comes to Facebook. People see your online presence and they judge you and your business because of it. But Dennis, it's my personal page. Shouldn't I be able to post whatever I want on there? You can. I'm not saying don't do it. I'm not saying don't post pictures of your family. I'm not saying don't do any of that stuff. I'm saying be smart about it. If you want to keep doing it a poor way, if you've been doing it the poor way, which I'll talk about the don'ts here in a few minutes, if you want to keep doing that, then just go right on ahead and post your dumb pictures and say stupid stuff, and your professional competitor is just going to come along and kick your butt, and you're never going to know it. They do look at your profile. I do it all the time. Whenever I do business with anybody, I glance at that stuff, and I've aced a lot of people out because of what they posted on there. So we got to be professional. So how do we set this up? First things first, your profile picture, that little round circle there with my face in it, it needs to be a clear picture of you, not a picture way off in the distance. It needs to think of, they want to connect with you. Remember that? People do business that they know, like, and trust. That's the first step, that nice, friendly picture of you there. The background photo, now it needs to position you. Now what I'm saying about positioning is it needs to position you as the expert. Now this photo is me giving a presentation to a big audience there. That sets me up as a little bit of credibility. What could that be for you? It could be you at a training. It could be you doing training. It could be you shaking hands with a homeowner. It could be you standing up on a rooftop on a job completed. Something that positions you as being better. Now, if you want to put a picture of you and your family up there, that's fine. You know, people do want to know, like, and trust you, but I do encourage you to really make a lot of this about your business. I mean, that's the first thing we ask somebody when we meet them, what do you do? So if you really want to use Facebook to drive business, try to make it a little bit more business-like. Have a complete introduction section. You notice how my introduction is very similar to my LinkedIn one. I help contractors create fast, predictable results. Yours can be the same thing. Don't leave a lot of gaps in your profile. I'm not saying you need to put in where you went to high school or elementary school. I'm not saying that. But have a complete section in profile, and don't forget the skills section. A lot of people don't notice that, but their Facebook page, when you go to optimize it, it has a skills section. Fill that sucker up, because again, that is going to get pulled by the algorithms of Facebook as far as skills when people go to search for you. You want your prospect to connect with you in a really friendly way. Be friendly, be that person they're gonna like on your profile. Now, here's some don'ts. I realize there's a lot more don'ts in here than do's, because frankly, when it comes to social media, there's a lot more screw-ups you can do to hurt yourself than do good for yourself. I'd rather have people put boring content out there all day long than do something dumb. So don't have a picture of your child, pet, or vehicle in that little round profile picture. This is your page. It's about you, and I want to connect with you. The last thing the people that connect with me want is a picture of my parrot. Make it about you. Guys, it really, you can probably look online, and you can probably come up with $200 to go to a professional photographer anywhere around you that's probably going to take 4 or 5 different pictures of you, go ahead and airbrush them to get all the redness out, the shine out, and do all that stuff, and you could have 4 or 5 professional pictures that you could put on your site that will make a difference. Don't put something silly in that little picture of you. Make it a connection to the homeowners. I'd go through your profile, and I delete the party pictures. Now, I'm not talking about the July 4th barbecue with you and your friends where everyone's having a good time. I'm talking about the pictures where you're laying drunk at the poolside in Cancun after, that somebody snapped and tagged you in. Just go down and remove that stuff. It's amazing how far people go down these profiles when they look at them. Get rid of those things. Be friendly when you smile in your pictures. Stop trying to be that really intense, tough guy with that stern look, because really, when you have that really tough, non-smiling, intense look, you don't come off looking tough, you come off looking arrogant. And that really draws people away from you. Everybody's got a nice smile. Even if you say, well, I've got bad teeth, Dennis, well, you can smile without showing your teeth. Be friendly and connecting with them. Now, I put this next one in here. This should be a no-brainer, but frankly, I see it all over. When you're on your Facebook, will you keep your tongue in your mouth? I can't tell you guys how many pictures I see where there's a guy sitting there doing like the 1980s heavy metal sign going, with all this stuff. Come on. That I don't know why people do that. It looks silly, so just keep that away. Wear a decent shirt in your profile picture. Have a nice, everyone's got one collared shirt. You don't have to have a uniform shirt. If you do, great. Everyone's got one polo or one uniform or one collared shirt. Have a picture of you there, not with a hat on backwards, wearing your wife beater. Look presentable on there. Look at like that guy. Imagine you're going to close $1 million quote with a board of directors. What would
Hey,
you
Dennis,
do? How would you?
Dennis, I think you're stalking us.
So just what would you wear and how would you look? You know, look the part of the professional. Create a Facebook business page. This is, again, free and easy to connect. And why do you want to do this? Because you cannot promote offers from a profile page. That's against Facebook policy. You can't any of your stuff. You can't do it. You need to create the business page, because even though they're going to look at your profile page, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to do all your posting on your business page. So create one of those. So how often should you post? People forget very quickly. What you post today, people are going to have forgotten tomorrow. Unless, of course, you did something to offend them or piss them off, then they're going to remember you forever. But post frequently. You should post on LinkedIn an article 2 to 3 times per week. Never do it on the weekends, because no one is on LinkedIn on the weekends. 2 to 3 times per week on LinkedIn is what you're going to want to throw out there. On Facebook, a minimum of every other day. This is a complete minimum, guys. The way Facebook's algorithms work, every post you put isn't going to go in everyone's feed. So if you're posting every other day, they might see one a week. Even better, post something every single day on Facebook. Then you're going to be more seen. If you really want to be seen, heard, and dominate your market, I know this is going to scare you, 2 to 3 times every single day you're posting on Facebook. Then you're going to be sure that at least one of your posts is going to get in front of the people that you're connected with. Okay, here's the fun part. What do you post? Now, I am going to be sending out one of the freebies you're going to get from Pete when you give him your email address is I'm going to send you 50 unique posts for HVAC contractors, and that can definitely get you thinking, going. So I'm going to briefly touch on a few examples here, but you are going to get that resource to really help you. You want to post 5-to-1 content to promotion. So 5 times you're helping your ideal customers, 1 time you're promoting yourself. So what do you post? Well, photos and videos, obviously, with testimonials. This is a huge deal. Your photos could be before and afters. Any new installation you put in. If you guys are doing service calls, if you're doing 4 service calls a day, you got 4 opportunities of content and to get testimonials and put out there. There's a ton of stuff you can put out there. Video testimonials are a game changer. 70% of what we consume online is video, and that's only growing. Ask a question. Post that in your Facebook, on your line. Ask me any HVAC question. I'm here to answer it. Get a little personal with it. Talk to a little bit about yourself on there. You know, hey, I got this going on. Obviously, don't get too personal, but let them know you. Share the love. Have gratitude out there. Thank your customers. Thank people for referrals. Thank the city you live in. I love working in the city. You guys are so awesome. I love you. People love that when there's gratitude. Even if it's not directed at them, they're going to view you differently. Be the expert. If you're out there and you're at a house where the AC is freezing up and it's because of that dirty filter, set up your phone and do a video. Folks, I'm out on this job site and I'm going to tell you right now, I see this all the time. The main reason ACs freeze up is because of a plug filter. You see this right here? This is what happens, folks, when you don't maintenance your furnace and you don't clean your filter. Please, 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 if you do anything, get that clean and check a couple times a year. Swipe up right now and get on my schedule if you like. Very subtle way of call to action. Be the expert. Favorite things. What's your favorite air cleaner? What's your favorite type of air conditioner? Throw in a couple favorite things. What's your favorite thing to eat? Connect with your audience. Talk about a trending topic. Hey, the weather's going to be bad this week. Hey, we got hail coming in. Wow, we got a cold streak. Talk about a trending topic as long as it's not politics. Don't go there. And then every once in a while, promote your company in a very non-salesy, sleazy way. And here is the monster. This is how you really kill it on Facebook. Ask for testimonials and tag people. Once you do work for these folks, guess what? They're really happy with you. That's the most happy when they're just warm or they're just cooling off, when you just help them. You ask for a picture or a video testimonial, and you ask them to like your page, and then you tag them in that testimonial. What happens? You go on their Facebook timeline and all of their friends see it. What if you did that once, twice, even a week? You have the cojones to ask to tag them. Can you imagine the thousands of people you don't know that you're now getting in their feed, and they have the opportunity to like your page, so now they're going to see your stuff? I'm telling you guys, tagging people is a game changer. Okay, let's talk about what you should not post. No profanity. Just leave that out. I've seen a lot of these HVAC groups where there's so much cussing going around and profanity, F-bombs everywhere. Are your homeowners seeing that? Probably not, guys. But you know what? One of these days you might hire somebody in that group, and if they look at it and they see a profanity-laced tirade against one of your employees or about a homeowner, that could chase them away. Don't do that on your Facebook page. Obviously, no offensive adult content, and both of these, of course, are against Facebook's policy. Don't give them any misleading information. Don't mislead anybody. With the internet and Google, it's so easy to get caught if you mislead people. Don't do any confrontational comments. Somebody is eventually going to post something you don't like in your feed. Be cool about it. Be professional. Don't get into a fight. I'm telling you this once, no one's ever convinced someone's opinion, changed someone's opinion on social media. Don't make any big wild claims. This is against Facebook policy also. Don't promise anything that's completely out of $29 duct cleaning. Okay, that's a wild claim, and you're going to eventually get flagged, so don't do that. Make sure you proofread the content. If you're going to go online and you're going to take articles to post on Facebook or LinkedIn, read them first. Don't just look at the title and say, hey, property managers should be interested in that. Read the article, because once you put it in there, your name's on it. So proofread it. Inconsistent branding. Find out who you are, what you stand for, and then push that. If you're the indoor air quality guy, then push it. If you're the guy that always, I respond within 48 hours, do that branding. Don't be all over the place. Don't be the indoor air quality guy this day, then the duct cleaning guy that day. Be consistent with your branding, and people will learn you. Don't post anything irrelevant. Don't just throw something out there just to say you want to throw it out here. Here's a picture of my burger at Chili's. I mean, nobody cares about that stuff, frankly. So don't post irrelevant stuff. And to beat a dead horse, don't post anything political. That is just trouble. I know we all stand for certain things, but just don't do that. It's just a way to get fights on social media, and just avoid it.
Hey, Dennis, can you elaborate just a little bit? I've got a question over in the chat about where the posting should be, what should be on personal, what should be on page, and perhaps, for example, I'll post mostly on my business page, but a lot of that I'll share on my personal page.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You can absolutely do. I post them on both. I post it on your personal page and say something like, my new testimonial. I wouldn't necessarily have to put testimonials on your personal page. I think that's more for your business page, but you can link anything. Now, I mentioned that you can't do a promotion on your personal page, but you can link to your business page and have a promotion. Check out my new post on my business page. Once it goes over there, you can have a promotion. So I would suggest doing most of your business page on your business page, and then create a lot of likes going there. And remember, when you create a business page, Pete, you can also ask all of your friends to like your business page. And once they do that, then that feed goes on there. So a lot of people, and if you're posting 2 to 3 times a day, mostly on your business page, that's what they'll see most of the time. So that's where I would post it. Now, here's a big warning. When you start doing all these postings, don't get caught up focusing on likes and comments. I've liked a lot of business pages, and I see them in my feed all the time. Very rarely do I like something or comment on it. It doesn't mean I'm not seeing it. So don't do a post and go, geez, I've been posting for 2 weeks and I don't even have any likes. That's very common. People like personal stuff, not business stuff, but they are seeing it. And let's face it, you can't deposit likes and comments into your bank account. So don't get caught up on there, because it could frustrate you to the point where, like, I don't want to do this crap anymore because I'm not getting any likes or comments. Don't get caught up on that. So what's possible if you really get committed with social media? Let's say all you did was you reached out and you got 5 new LinkedIn contacts per day, and it will take about 10 minutes for you to reach out to 10 people, and you should get 5. That's $1,300 a year if you only do it 5 days a week. Let's say you post 3 times on LinkedIn. That's 156 pieces of content you can get out there. On Facebook, let's say you got 5 new contacts every single day. That's over 1,800 in a year. If you post 1 to 3 times on Facebook, that's 365 to almost 1,100 pieces of content. If you get committed to this, you're talking over 3,000 new connections and 500 to 1,200 pieces of content out there. If you do this, you will not be ignored. You will be seen and you will get leads from it. It is impossible for it not to happen. So I just want to touch on this really quick because I know we're running up against it. I want to give you guys some ideas about what could happen when you actually get this Facebook stuff going and you get it down and the possibilities to position yourself differently. You can become the expert. How would it look if you had an ebook that you wrote sitting on your website? Now I'm going to tell you how easy this is to do an ebook. If I sat here and I asked Pete, could you tell me really quickly how you describe your process of sizing a house for an air conditioner? And I let him go. He'd probably go 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 minutes how to size a house for an air conditioner. All I have to do is record that, and there's places online that will, for about $1 a minute, transcribe that audio into a transcription. You get it back. All he does is convert that into a book, put on his website, The Pete Ramsey Way to Size an Air Conditioner, my free ebook. Think that might make him look a little bit different to the homeowners out there that are doing stuff? This is a piece of cake to do this stuff. Go on a podcast, get interviewed, put that in your content. That will make you look completely different. If you're saying, hey, check out my new interview, I was interviewed on a podcast by so-and-so, check it out right here. Completely makes you a level above everyone else. Put your training videos that you're training homeowners on air cleaners. In Colorado, we got a lot of humidifiers, all that stuff. Put them on YouTube, like Pete was talking about YouTube earlier, because guess who owns YouTube? Google. When people Google you and you've got all these connections, that's one of the top things that's going to come up. You can funnel your way to online sales. Once you get this going, guys, you can set up funnels where people can go into your trainings, and then at the end of those trainings, completely automated, have a call to action where they can buy something from you and you haven't even done anything. You can create yourself up to set aside. I've created this for my contractors. It's a consumer guide. So this is a consumer guide to heating and cooling contractors that's guided towards the homeowner. They go on my guy's website, they download this for free. This tells the homeowner exactly what they should look for in order to hire a good heating contractor, and at the same time positions my clients to meet every single one of those those requirements and completely stand out. This type of stuff is sitting on your websites and you start to think ahead. It's staggering what you can actually accomplish. Now, I want to really I got some questions on the website that I want to go into really quick. Again, I know we're bumping up against it here, Pete. First of all, buy-sell groups. My question is that if you want to go into a buy-sell group on Facebook, my question is, how do you want to position yourself going forward? Do you want to be the buy-sell guy, or do you want to be the professional heating company? It doesn't matter. Do it either way you want. Personally, if I was positioning myself to be a professional heating and cooling company that was growing, I'd kind of stay out of that and let other people handle it. That's just my thoughts. How to attract the right prospects. Content attracts and repels. What you're putting out there in the form of videos and content and informational stuff, again, I'm going to send you that list of 50 things to look at. That's going to attract right people, and it's going to repel the people you don't want. Put out the right content that your ideal prospect is looking for, and you'll get them. How do you build an audience? Post relevant content and interact. Facebook has a ton of groups. This goes also to Pete's question about how do you get people locally? Go to local groups. Join those local groups. You know, there's a million little groups in your town, Facebook groups. Join all of them. Join the local, the local lawyers group, the local neighborhood watch group. Get all that stuff. Friend all the peoples locally and interact within them. Answer questions. Like their stuff. Comment on their stuff. You're going to become friends with them and they're going to like you. Interact locally in groups. The Nextdoor app. I don't know a lot about it, so my experience is limited. I had one contract, one of my clients do it, and he stopped doing it. He wasn't a big fan of it. It's a little hard to get connected to people, and they have some pretty substantial promotional rules within there. So unless it's something you're really set on, I don't know anybody that's had a lot of great experience with it. But again, my experience is also a little limited. And then budgets for social media. Everything I showed you today, and you can review this, you can basically do for free. If you want someone else to do it and you want to farm this stuff out, you're probably looking, if you want to make a presence out there, you're probably looking at something around, the $500 a month to just do base, up to say $1,500 a month to really just crush it and have someone do this for you. So that's probably a basic guideline I can give you as far as budget. That's what I do for my clients. Is I do packages like that, but that's kind of an idea of a budget. If someone's going to do your social media for $100, you're not going to get a lot of interaction in there. Okay, about to shut off, but I want to do really quick next steps here. My big freebie that I'm going to offer to you guys is I'll do a 20-minute phone audit of both your LinkedIn and your current Facebook profile. Now, I know we look at it and we say, I don't want anyone to nitpick my stuff. I don't want any, look, guys, it just starts with having someone having eyes on what you're existing at, getting on the phone, and them giving you suggestions about it. I'll have my team look at that. All you need to do, if you'd like to do that, is just text audit to that phone number on there, 720-318-5554. I will send back to you a scheduling link that you can hop on there and schedule it. You're going to be asked to give your email on that scheduling link. I'm also going to email you in a follow-up email my Facebook and LinkedIn profile so you can connect with me so I can look at your profiles, or my team can, and we can check it out. So if you want me to look at that stuff for you, hop on the phone and give you 20 minutes of an opinion, absolutely. Just go ahead and reach out to me. So that's kind of what I got there, Pete. I think I got in just under the wire. Oh, I went 1 minute over.
Great job. A couple of quick questions. I'm going to ask mine first since I already have the microphone.
Go ahead, buddy.
We're professionals in what we do, okay? And some of this stuff is new. My particular Facebook presence as a business is relatively new. It's less than 6 months. And this particular page is new, and I've not asked for recommendations. So I'm thinking about everybody here's their business page. There is a point where it says recommendations, and I've had people that have actually gone in there and said, hey, Pete's this, Pete's that, some nice things, but maybe less than half a dozen. I've never asked for that.
Are we talking LinkedIn or Facebook?
No, we're talking about Facebook. On your business page, there's a place called recommendations, and Facebook evidently, and I'm probably using the wrong lingo here, they'll recommend you based on this feedback that they've gotten from people in your community, your customers, what have you, maybe your peers. And mine says not enough recommendations to recommend or something like that. Do you have a feel for how many? So we can everybody can have their customers pop in and recommend so that they can get a rating, if you will. Or do you know?
I don't know that, and Facebook changes the rules all the time. I will ask you this, Pete, when it comes to how many recommendations you have, how many have you given out?
No, this is what I've received. This is somebody going on my business page and saying, hey, Pete did a great job. We really loved what he did, or something like this. A few of the people are maybe even in this group, because I did a challenge, my very first challenge, just a few months ago. And so I'm thinking about the contractors as well. They're out there, but when you land on your page, it would be nice to have that rating. I Googled it and I didn't find anything, but I'll be honest, I didn't spend as much time looking. I was busy with other things.
I'll tell you a way to increase it, Pete, is the more people you recommend, the more we'll recommend you.
That's a very good strategy. Yes.
That works on LinkedIn too. You go on LinkedIn and you start recommending people that are your ideal client, reciprocation is going to come back at you. And it's amazing how many, just like when they're endorsing you for skills on LinkedIn, you endorse them for skills. A lot of times you're going to see them endorse you right back.
Right. Yeah. And thank you for that LinkedIn, man. That was good stuff. I've got like 2,200 connections and I don't do anything with it. So I'm on that. I'm on that myself. Guys, open it up for questions really quick, because we're going to stop the recording here. We want to make sure that the viewers who are watching this after words, take advantage of the questions. George, you had a question? He might be unmuting himself. Maybe he's not there. Well, his was more about Google My Business, I believe. But somebody else within the context of this first, LinkedIn's and Facebook. So, anybody have any questions?
Yeah, I was just curious about the Google My Business part of it, because I know that, it's Google just like YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So how often would you do that?
I don't have a ton of stuff with my clients on Google My Business, but that is something I got to change a little bit, George, because that definitely has grown. I do know my IT person that does all of my SEO stuff for my clients. She does hook all of them in through Google, but I personally don't do that with my stuff. But she'll do that. I don't know a ton about that. I'm kind of more the Facebook, LinkedIn guy, but that is a good question. I do know my social media person, IT person does hook everybody into that stuff.
Okay.
And then I was just going to ask, as far as on the business page or on Facebook, so we have our personal page and then we have a business page. And if I'm going to join a bunch of groups, like let's say, Father's Group in Fresno where I live or whatever, and I start interacting with these people and I'm getting them to friend me on my personal page, I mean, is that kind of what I want to do is just bring in a whole bunch of, usually I kind of keep my personal page professional but private.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have my business page, but inside those groups, I will be using my personal page to interact with all these other, business groups. And so should I just start collecting people on that page and then invite them to like my business page?
As long as they're your ideal client, yes. When I go out and I go in groups or whatever, I'm always looking for someone that's my ideal client, an HVAC person or a contractor. I don't reach out to try to friend people that aren't really my ideal client, because when I start inviting them to do my business page after I'm friends with them and they followed me for a little while, because I don't know about you, when I just get this random post, you've been asked to like this page, unless I already have a connection with that person, maybe through a personal thing, seeing their personal page, I don't really ever react to it. If I know who they are and I'm like, okay, that's a heating and cooling guy, we're friends, I've looked at his stuff, yeah, I'll like his page, absolutely. But just getting, this random, Pete Johnson wants you to like Pete's attorney at law, I'm not going to do that. I need to have some type of a relationship with them. So I generally do the personal connections first. And I would say, you can always keep your life personal. You can keep that 25 to 30% that you don't want anyone to know personal, and just let them in on the stuff that your ideal client does want to know.
Okay, great. Yeah, thank you.
You bet. Oh, I kind of lost you there, Pete. Let me go ahead and stop.
Oh, sorry, I was muted. I was saying good stuff. Somebody else? Anybody? Any more questions before we discontinue the recording part? Well, now stick around. We'll ask some questions after. But anything that you think maybe somebody else is wondering? Good. Okay, so I'm going to end the recording here with this, and well, Dennis is going to have to as soon as I finish. So for those of you who want to reach out to Dennis, now of course you got to get on the. I use a Gmail account. Okay, HVAC Greatness at Gmail. So forget the .com and stuff. So everybody's collected there. But if you want to reach out directly to Dennis, text the word audit to his cell phone 720-318-5554, right? Or email him at Dennis Hohman, HOHMAN.com. Okay, so Dennis, thank you so much. What a great job. I can't wait to get this up in the group so everybody can watch through this. And I'm going to go back, I don't know about you guys, and take some more detailed notes and start implementing some of these strategies because they're really good. And social media is where it's at, guy. Break out the camera. Everybody break out the camera. Don't be so camera shy. And if you don't like seeing yourself, film your employees, do what you got to do. You take a picture of that pretty equipment. Make sure you got a smiling customer standing right beside it. We love the equipment, but our homeowners love a smiling face better. Things like this, all the stuff that Dennis has mentioned, good stuff. We really appreciate everybody being here, and we want to thank Dennis for coming and putting this on for us.
Appreciate the time, Pete. Let me go ahead and stop the recording here. Bloop, there we go.